Hello everyone, Blugoblin here. Thank you so much for joining me for my comic book review for this week in April 2013, the week of the 17th. I apologize for all the confusion, and I hope you're subscribed to this channel, or you click the link in the description box from my main channel, Blugoblin01. I'm doing this on my blugoblinX channel. If you saw the last video I did, which was a news on my status, and you pretty much know why I'm doing it this way. So I do apologize for all the flip-flopping and any confusion I might have been causing by doing it this way. But it's the only way I can get my views out there. I can't do all this in just 15 minutes or less. I need to elaborate on what I love about these books. Now, I'm not going to stop making videos on my main channel. This is just a temporary fix until I can get out of the hot water with YouTube. I'm going to be a good boy and just do what I have to do to remain here on YouTube. Now, as for my main channel, as soon as I get done filming this video, and while this video is uploading, I'm going to read the books that I got from Midtown Comics from one of my best friends in the world, Christopher Bennett, aka my student, TheMtVernonKid. While this video is uploaded, I'm going to be reading these books, and then I'm going to do a review on them in 15 minutes or less, or maybe 2 videos in 15 minutes or less each. I'm going to be giving my views on these books from Midtown Comics. But for now, let me express my opinions about the books that I got for this week myself. Alright, we're going to start with DC and end with Marvel. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 books. Wow. I got a lot to start with. I got a lot to go with, so let's start it off with Batwoman, number 19. A Tale of Blood and Family Secrets. I gotta say, let me pull that back a little bit. Look at that cover. That cover is just simply beautiful. One of the best Batwoman covers I've seen in a long time, and it's not even done by J.H. Williams III. It's done by Trevor McCarthy, who also does the interior artwork, which I'll give him credit. The interior artwork in here is just amazing. This is still a good example of artwork fitting with the storytelling in here. Now, what this basically is Batwoman is having problems with the DEO, the organization that she's working with, and the tension is building. It's building. I mean, even Batwoman says, "I poisoned my girlfriend for you." You know, she's like, just what the hell do you want from me, and all that kind of stuff. And it's literally causing a rift in her family, primarily with her partner Hawkfire. You know, her cousin Betty, or Bet Kane. You know, she even says, "Hey, I know you're working for the DEO and everything like that, but I need to tell you know." She wants to know what's going on, and she's just like, "I can't tell you." She's like, "Well, then I'm going to tell you this. As long as you work for the DEO, I'm not working with you. She's like, good luck, cuz, and she just walks away. She says, you're going to be without a partner. And to make matters worse, Kate goes as far as to say, I never said you were my partner. You didn't have to say it. I mean, basically, Ben has been there for her several times. She, you know, might as well say it's her partner. You know, but speaking of partners, Batwoman's girlfriend, her fiance, is having some wicked nightmares, primarily about her daughter, and it's just really, really, really disturbing. And you know, Kate's trying to tell her, you know, it's like, hey, babe, tell me what you want me to do, and I'll be there for you. And Mags is just trying to say, look, I need to do this on my own. Great storytelling, great drama, great attention to detail. The character development is just simply fantastic in here. There's some tension going on with concerning Kate's father. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to ruin everything. Batwoman learns of another project that the DEO is working on concerning someone, and I'm not going to ruin that. But let me say this: damn, just damn. And then to make matters even, to increase the drama even more, we get a holy shit cliffhanger. I'm not going to ruin that either. This was good. I mean, this was really good. Good storytelling, good drama, great artwork. Characters are very well done. The cliffhangers got me and pulled me in for more. I'm loving this series. This has been just fantastic stuff. Do yourselves a favor. If you're collecting Batwoman, stick with it. It's simply phenomenal stuff. I can't get enough of it. Alright. Moving on. Birds of Prey, number 19. I apologize for the poor lighting in here, but if I were to turn my main line on, y'all would be blinded. Let's see. Attacked and Betrayed. Pull that back a little bit. By Mr. Freeze and one of their own, Starling. I do like the cover. I think the artwork is really, really well done on that cover. Let's see, who did the cover art? Adrian Saff. No wonder I liked it so much. I like his artwork. But this was a great read, but it was bittersweet because the ending pissed me off. Let me explain why. I'm going to go ahead and partially spoil this. The cover is legit. This does happen. Apparently, Starling betrays the Birds of Prey and is working alongside Mr. Freeze. And he even goes so far as to say, she's always worked for me. Ugh. Bullshit! But I will give Christy Marks credit. Her writing is just really good stuff. And Romano Malonar, I probably butchered that name and I'm sorry. The interior artwork is good. I still love the characters. Condor and Strix, they're kind of growing on me, but I'm not a really big fan of them yet. And of course, I'll always love Dinah and Babs. Love Barbara. Love Dinah. They're still really fun to read characters. But Starling, damn, I love this woman. This girl was an awesome character. She was one of the main reasons why I stuck with this series, because I wasn't getting her anywhere else. And I love the way she is. Her character is awesome. She's this tough bitch who doesn't take any shit from anybody, man or woman. It's just, she was just tough as nails, but she was also a kind person. An awesome character, and DC to me fucked it up by making her a traitor at the end, at the cliffhanger of this issue. Now, I am begging DC for that old-fashioned swerve where you think somebody's becoming a traitor, yet it's really a double agent and they're going to turn back and be with their friends in the end. I am begging for that swerve. I've never actually begged this much for a swerve like this before. Yes, it's a bit old-fashioned, and yes, it's been this kind of swerve and this kind of dilemma has been done to death. But for this particular instance, I have to go the extra mile and say, please, DC, don't take this traitor role for Starling any further, because I did not like the ending. But to the writing's credit, I did like the storytelling that led to the moment, because it paints a picture reminding us that yes, Victor Fries is now one of the, because of the retcon of Nora Fries and everything, because that was retconned out, he became just another stereotypical nut with a passion for crime, which pissed me off. But this particular issue reminded us just how pretty damn clever Victor Fries can be. He sets the birds up, and that's a plus for Mr. Freeze. I mean, it's a plus for him as a villain because he outsmarted them. And what's really good is that even though I kind of sort of saw that coming, it still caught me off guard, and I still was surprised to see how well the story was written leading up to that point at the cliffhanger. And to see the Birds of Prey with Barbara Gordon on the team of all people to look outsmarted was really good storytelling. Maybe a little, I'm willing to bet some fans of Batgirl will find that a little insulting to her character, but for me it works because it helps progress the story and it helps Mr. Freeze, because let's face it, he needs a push. But yeah, good storytelling. Like I loved the build up, but the cliffhanger, it did piss me off. Alright, moving on. Green Lantern New Guardians number 19. Sinestro can't be stopped except by Simon Baz, the White Lantern. God, DC, how much more Simon Baz Licky Zedicki can you get? Yeah, Tony Bedard may have wrote this, but I have a feeling that he was probably on his desk writing the story with Jeff Johns standing over him, whispering, "Make Simon Baz look good. I made him. Make him look good. Yeah, that's my character. Make him look awesome. Make him look like he's a miracle. Yeah, because I made him. I'm Jeff Johns, damn it. I'm Jeff Johns. I always get my fucking way." But, look, y'all know how I've been feeling about this whole Wrath of the First Lantern story. Like I said, this is one of those occasions where when you look at the story two different ways. One way you look at it, you look at the individual parts of the story, and you think to yourself, when you look at the individual parts, you'll see good storytelling, you'll see good writing, you'll see good artwork. But if you look at it the other way, and you look at the entire story overall together as a whole, so far, this story has been piss poor, because we are now on part 11, and still I am not seeing any wrath from the First Lantern. I'm seeing wrath from other characters, primarily from Sinestro and from members of the Red Lantern Corps. But I'm not seeing any wrath. All I've been seeing these past 11 parts, or the parts of the story that had the First Lantern in it, all I've seen is a bunch of brain picking, some mind fucking, and some arrogance. That's it. That's all I've seen. Like I said, the individual parts have good storytelling, good build, good drama, good action, definitely good action. But you gotta look at it overall as a whole. That's when you see how piss poor the story really is. You can choose to look at either one way or the other, or look at it both ways like I do. But to me, it's really not painting a good picture for the Lantern writers that are departing after this story is over. It's like, yeah, they wrote some good stuff, but overall, the last story they all wrote together kind of sucked. Yeah, that's just how it is. I'm not going to sit here and praise the story just because a lot of other people on the internet or on social media are saying this is one of the best stories ever told. No, I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to get on camera, I'm going to hold up this book, I'm going to tell you what I thought after I read it, and I'm going to be brutally honest. I think the story overall, so far, is a piece of shit. But the individual parts that are contained in the story are really good. But it's the title, Wrath of the First Lantern. There has been no wrath from the First Lantern. Any wrath that we have seen in this story has mainly come from other characters, not the main antagonist of the story. That's just how I see it. This was a good read. A really good read, especially if you're a Sinestro fan. Because Sinestro does some crazy shit in here. And, you know, he even goes so far as to mock Carol when she's still weeping over Hal. He's like, you think I care about your dead boyfriend? I lost my whole planet. You know, and I'm like, yeah. Good stuff. Good drama. The drama in here was great. Loved it. But, like I said, Wrathless First Lantern shit ain't flying with me. Okay. Moving on with the final book of DC. Let me get the fold-out cover ready. It is Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 19. If there is to be a future for Jason Todd, he must first erase his past. Okay. I will say this. James Tanayan IV and Julius Gopez, I like this new creative team on this book. Because, let's face it, Scott Lobdell was not doing this series any favors. Excuse me. The story in here was really good. This focused focused really heavily on Roy and my beloved Coriander, Princess Starfire. Starfire, a character I have loved literally my whole life. And this painted a picture for me as to how far they're willing to go to help their friend Jason. This was an issue that really made them seem like these three belong together because they have a strong friendship bond. Roy is horribly dressed from the 90s as he is. Stupid trucker hat. I mean, hell, I wear a hat, but with the trucker head and the Power Ranger-like spandex, I know a lot of superheroes wear spandex, but with Roy, the way he looks like a bad reject hero from the 90s. But in here, Roy does look really strong as a character in here. Very well put together. We get to see him go through all kinds of torture just to see if he can save his friend, because he didn't feel like he fit in anywhere else, and I really appreciated that storytelling. Corey was done nicely in here as well. But when you get to the end of the book where they finally find Jason, you think to yourself, oh. When they meet Jason, it's one of those oh moments. I'm like, ah, shit. You know, it's one of those moments. I'm not gonna ruin why I'm putting it like that. I'm not gonna spoil the ending. But what I will say is, this was strong from a storytelling perspective. It was really strong. The artwork was better than it has been here lately. And I'm on board with this now. I'm sticking with this now because the writing was that good. I mean, Scott Lobdell was not doing it any favors, and I'm thankful for DC for giving it a new creative team and making me a believer in this series again. Now, was this book perfect? Hell no. It definitely had its flaws, but I did enjoy it enough to say I'll be glad to stick with it. Red Hood and the Outlaws, number 19. Alright, we're moving on to Marvel. Oh, man. This first book from Marvel came this damn close to being my pick of the week. This close. But it got beat out by something else, and I'll get to that later. We're starting off with Marvel with Age of Ultron, book 6. Okay, want to make sure I got that right. Book 6. Another generic looking cover, but it's nicely put together. Brian Michael Bendis is still doing the writing. Now, Brian Hitch is not on the artwork anymore. Who's doing the artwork? It is... Now, there's 2 different artists on here. I'm going to give them both props because it was good. And now, in the present time storytelling, the artwork is done by Brandon Peterson. Now, in the past storytelling, the past perspective, it's done by Carlos Pacheco. Carlos Pacheco, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, man. But I'm giving props to all 3 of you. The artwork from both perspectives of the storytelling, both present and past, was really good. Now, there was a tie-in to this, Wolverine and the X-Men, which I'll get to later. Wolverine and the X-Men, which I will review later, it happened before this. But this was basically most of the heroes that are left going into the future where Ultron is and is hoping to fight him there. And when they get to where New York City used to be, damn. And I got to agree with Tony. It's apocalyptic and it's New York City all torn to shit, but it does look beautiful. As sick as that sounds, I got to agree with him. But what really sold this book for me was the storytelling that happened in the past concerning Wolverine and Sue Richards, excuse me. They're going to the past. Susan wants to repair the past any way, shape, or form that doesn't involve crossing the line. Wolverine, he don't give a shit. He's there to kill Hank Pym. He is there to kill Hank Pym. And the heroes in the future are in deep shit, but it's what happens in the past. Oh my God. Oh, I can't stand it. I want to tell you what happened, but I can't. I'm not going to because it was that good. I didn't really think they were going to go there. They went there. I'm just going to leave it at that. Moving on. Oh, Astonishing X-Men number 61. Extermination Part 5. Look, Marjorie Liu, I love you as a writer. You've been doing great things for this series, but this book suffers because I haven't read any other parts of Extermination, nor have I gave a damn to. I mean, look at this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I have to put it like this, but this right here is how many damns I give about Extermination. Because it's just... This book was so dialogue heavy. I mean, after I got done with it, I was thankful to be done with it because I just... Jean Grey is supposedly going to be the new apocalypse, and shit's getting blown up, people are dying, and you know, and we're all jumping around up and down, happy, 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 joy, 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 whatever. Next. Okay, moving along. Captain Marvel number 12. Kelly Sue DeConnick, love your writing. Love your writing. Sabella, hate your artwork. Don't like your artwork. I swear to you, Carol Danvers looks like she's 14 years old. She looks like a young teenage girl in here. That's just not right. The artwork in here, the more I see it, the more I don't like it. It is so sketchy. It is so scratched up. It looks rushed. It looks really rushed. But the storytelling in here, despite the god-awful artwork, is very nicely done. Carol's still a hard-headed ass who refuses to accept that she can't fly anymore, or she can't fly unless it hurts her or something like that. And to me, it's like... at first I thought she was being a stubborn ass, but now, you know, I've read this, I guess a lot of other fans and myself would agree that she's being like this because one, she doesn't want to admit she needs help. She wants to be independent. She wants to be her own hero. And two, if she is indeed going to die from what's wrong with her, then she would love to die a hero knowing she died protecting people. Okay? I'll say it like that. But the fight with Deathbird, it wraps up, and it wraps up nicely. And it leads to whoa kind of cliffhanger, you know, and that's pretty much all I need to say about this. The whole issue was basically Carol and Deathbird fighting, and Carol bitching and pissing and moaning about her flying motorcycle. And then it led up to a what the fuck kind of cliffhanger. That was basically it. We get some winks and nods about, we get some wink and nod storytelling about Helen Cobb, and that was basically it. But it was a good story. It was a good issue. Marvel, get a new artist on here. I mean, who did the cover art? Let me see. Who did the cover art? Joe Quinones. I probably butchered that name, but Marvel, get him to do the interior art. This art on the cover is fantastic. Get the interior artwork looking like this. Alright. Pick of the week time. Yes, I am a fanboy. The Superior Spider-Man, number 8. Dan Slott. Mr. Slott, I salute you, man. Wow. This was good. This was really good. However, as good as it was, it did have one major flaw. This particular issue made the Avengers, or at least the team of Avengers that was interrogating Spider-Man, made them look like idiots. I'm like, even there was a scene where Peter was in Ock's subconscious trying to get control of his right hand. Say, draw a little picture of an octopus and a spider, draw an arrow pointing to the spider, like trying to tell Natasha, hey, Ock went to Spider. Spider-Man is Ock. You know, and after Ock leaves the interrogation room, you know, Widow looks at the note and she's like, "Bosh moi." He draws a horrible spider. Tasha, why? That moment made me, like I just did, I facepalmed myself. We get another good action scene between Ock and Cardiac, that was good storytelling. Don't get me wrong, really great storytelling. Love with the progression was going. I'm really interested in what's going on with Carly Cooper. That got my attention. I want to know where that's going. But to top it all off, the cliffhanger. Oh, the cliffhanger. Oh my God. Son of a bitch. The cliffhanger. Oh, I want to tell you all about it, but out of respect for anybody, and I mean anybody that hasn't read this yet, I'm not going to ruin it. But all I'm saying is, son of a bitch. Good stuff. I really loved this. I've really been loving the Superior Spider-Man, and I was going into this series thinking I'm just going to get a couple of issues, maybe 3 or 4 issues, and expect it to be complete shit. Me, a Spider-Man fanboy, Spider-Man, my favorite superhero. I was expecting to go into this series thinking it was going to be a waste of my money, a waste of my time. It was going to be a piece of shit because no other person but Peter Parker can be Spider-Man. And I'm reading this and I've been loving it. It has been good storytelling. And I just can't get enough of it. This was really good. Moving along. Wolverine and the X-Men number 27 AU. This is a tie-in to Age of Ultron. This takes place before Age of Ultron number 6. This is Wolverine and Sue Storm getting into the past. All about Wolverine and Sue Storm, and that's pretty much it. Hang on, let me look for the creative team. Matt Kent is the writer. It's not Jason Aaron. And Paco Medina is the artist, which is nice because, let me find it. There's a particular page I want to show you. God, where is it? I know it's in here. There it is. That is probably one of the best spreads of Sue that I personally have ever seen. That is a magnificent picture of Sue. I want that on my wall. It is great. And you know, they're saying, you know, butterfly effect, you know, take baby steps, you know, and Logan's just thinking to himself, screw the damn past, I gotta do this, you know. And good chemistry between Logan and Sue. I mean, who knew? Good chemistry, good storytelling. I love the artwork. Obviously, I love the artwork in here. And this is a tie-in to Age of Ultron that I didn't really think I would like because, you know, I didn't really think it would lead anywhere. But nice stuff. It does a beautiful job of leading into the next issue of leading into issue 6 of Age of Ultron. Did a great job with the characters in here. I loved it. It was great. I mean, it was no Jason Aaron may not have done this, but to all the people who did this book, you did a good job, in my opinion. Alright, moving along. We got Venom number 34. Cullen Bunn and I'm going to get this dude's first name. Declan Shalvey. Or Shalvey. Declan Shalvey. Look, I try to pronounce some of these people's names, but yeah, I tried. But if I butcher, and I do apologize. In here, we finally get what I was waiting to see. Venom versus Toxin. Flash Thompson versus Eddie Brock. And it was good. It was really good for the most part. It wasn't as action-packed as I was expecting it to be. But Brock does something in here that really pushes Flash buttons. And I'm not going to ruin what he did. But he does something in here that makes Flash nearly snap and lose complete control of the Venom symbiote. And it's like, if I was in Flash's position, I probably would have freaked out too. But the story progresses really heavily in here. Very well, very good action. I thought it could have been a little bit more, but for what we got, I was satisfied. The story is progressing very well, and kind of leads to a bit of a disappointing moment for our old pal Eugene, but in the end, I just want to know more about these things. What is it the book is going to call them? The Symbiote Slayers. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and spoil the cliffhanger here, because honestly, I don't know where they could go with this. We get a look at that. You thought one was bad. Try dealing with 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. They're going to be called. They're called the Symbiote Slayers, and I don't know really where they could go with this. I mean, this could lead somewhere. This could go somewhere really good, as long as we stay away from the hell shit. But overall, I did enjoy this. I thought the artwork was really good. Needed some sprucing up in a couple of places, but for the most part, what sold it was the writing, was the action, and it's pretty much all I can say about this. Venom number 34. Add it to your Venom collection. I think you'll like it. We're going to end this review with XFactor 254. This is Hell on Earth War Part 5. Peter David. Keep getting better, Mr. David. Because God knows I don't think I could go through this series without you on it. And even the beginning page says, and I quote, Peter wasn't able to work on this recap page because he's been busy sculpting the future of X-Factor. He visited the Marvel offices recently to chat with his editors, and we can guarantee he's got plans. Big plans. Plans you won't want to miss. End quote. But Peter David is still on the writing. Leonard Kirk, I do love your artwork in here. Artwork is great. Still, the team is still dealing with all these Hell Lords on Earth trying to kill Rain Sinclair's little son, Tier. And he's second-guessing his purpose. You know, he's been told that he's the only person, he's the only being in existence who can actually kill these Hell Lords. You know, and he's not sure he wants to be that person. So him and his mother are trying to convince X-Factor to think of other ways to get the job done, because they believe that there's always another way. But Polaris ain't having any of that shit. I mean, it's got to the point where she's just flat out demanding that they gotta do what they gotta do and all that shit. And Madrox comes back into the picture, but it's a bit of a holy shit, you know, kind of thing. And I mean, the team seems to be slightly falling apart. All hell's breaking loose, no pun intended. And speaking of all hell breaking loose, the damn cliffhanger. Shit! Peter David, God, I love you, man. You are one of the masters of cliffhangers. Man, where do you get this from? I loved this book. This was great. The action was good. The dialogue was incredible. The artwork was good. And like I said, I'm not big on the whole Hell Wars and demons and all that shit. I'm not big on that kind of storytelling. But Peter David can make it work. I promise you, he can make it work. And he's kept me sunk in these past few years with this series. I'm loving it. I loved the cliffhanger. Loved the action. This was fantastic. Just good stuff. I can't really say it does. This issue does have flaws. I will say that, but I'm not going to get into that, because I'm praising the hell out of this, and I don't want to nitpick after I praise the hell out of it. No pun intended again. But, like I said, if you're not on board with X-Factor, if you're not reading this, what is your problem? Get on board with this. One of the best X-Men related titles on the shelf, bar none. Loved it. Alright, that's all I got for this week, everybody. I want to thank you all for watching this. And I apologize for any misdirections from my main channel to this channel or whatever. I really do apologize. Subscribe to this channel, blugoblinX. Don't give up on my main channel. I'm still going to be doing stuff on there with Blugoblin01. Follow me on Twitter or on Tumblr. You won't regret it. Don't forget my student, one of my dearest friends, one of my best friends ever, TheMtVernonKid, Chris Bennett. And Chris, I'll get to these as soon as I can. Don't forget about my family, Dark Avenger Inc. Plus, my good friends Mark and Chloe at FactStacker Comics. Everybody, all my old friends, Deadpoolzilla, Brandon Hex, the works. Subscribe to everybody. You'll love it. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.